Alright guys, what's going on? It's ADHD here, and today, sorry about the non-upload for a long time. I have been very, very busy. But other than that, let's get to the video. As you can see from the title, we are ranking one of the most prestigious and most highly respected clans in Konoha, and maybe even in the Naruto world. We are talking about the Sarutobis here. The Sarutobis are one of the first clans of Konoha. They were there since near the founding of Konoha, with Hashirama and Senju and Madara and Uchiha were first settling there. They were one of the first, all up there with the Nara, who first started to join and colonize in there. But let's talk about them. There are 6 confirmed, Sarutobis that we know at least a decent little bit about. Most of my information in terms of clans, like people who are in the clan, I use the names that are from Narutopedia. However, I do my own research. Obviously, I do some research into Narutopedia, but I obviously go to manga, I go to anime episodes, I go to YouTube, I go to all these other sites to get my information so I can bring them all to you guys. So, that all being said, let's get started. Number 6 is going to be Biwaku. This is Hiruzen's wife. Hiruzen's wife is not that great. We haven't seen much of her. We know that she's a confirmed Jonin. She's a confirmed medical ninja. So, obviously, she's a support ninja, if anything. But unfortunately, she did die at the age of 55. Next up, we have Mirai at number 5. Now, if I was basing this off of potential, she'd be a lot higher on this list, but I am not, so I will not do that. Mirai is only 15 years old, so she has plenty of time to grow and be a more capable ninja. But for the time being, she is ranked as a confirmed Jonin. She's a wind, fire, lightning, and yin release user. He has decent genjutsu, being able to use the same genjutsu that Kurina used on Itachi and use it on Sarada, who has a Sharingan. Granted, it wasn't fully evolved, but it's still a Sharingan nonetheless. She has created a wind-style jutsu of her own called Wind Release Whirlwind Fist. She can also make a fire tornado jutsu called Flint Yagura. She's a great genjutsu user, being able to comfortably wield the same blades that Asuma did. She's a proctor and was also chosen as a bodyguard for Naruto. So she's chosen to guard Naruto, and she's trusted to watch over children as they try to kill themselves. In exams and stuff. Rui, a Joshinist. Granted, he didn't get the blessing of Joshin, but this means that he maybe trained in a decent bit of jutsu and a variety of weapons, considering Hidan was a decent kenjutsu user. She can use a lot of the same techniques that Asuma can, including the flying shallow. The flying swallow, where she increases the cutting power of her blades with the wind release chakra. If you don't really know what this is, if you ever see Asuma's blades have that kind of transparent blade that's coming out of the metal blade, that's what that is. And while holding back, she could take out one Tomei Sharingan, Sarada, and Boruto. So very impressive indeed. Next up, we have Sasuke Sarutobi, almost said Uchiha. Yes, we have another Sasuke in the Naruto universe. He is very renowned. He was very renowned for his ninjutsu, and Hiruzen inherited his jutsu. The reason I put him at 4 and not higher is because we just don't know enough about him. But I also didn't put him lower because I think he's beating a 15-year-old, and I think he's beating a medical ninja. And considering that Hiruzen inherited most of his ninjutsu, considering I believe this is Hiruzen's father or Hiruzen's great grandfather or grandfather. Alright, number 3 we have Konohamaru. Currently he is at the age of, I believe, 27, but he could be a little older. But nonetheless, Konohamaru has come a long way since he was that little brat we all knew about, knew he was. Personally, I found him very annoying, but I think most of us can agree on that. He is now officially ranked as a Jonin. I'd put him at high tuning.
Hey guys, it's future ADHD. So right here I said high tuning, I believe, which I don't know what I was thinking. He's a high Jonin level threat, he took on Jugo and all that stuff, so I just wanted to clear things up there. Thank you.
The Monkey Yang seal and the String Light formation and the 3 direction seal. So he has decent stealing jutsu capabilities. He can make a big ball or Sengon, knows all the clan techniques, and can increase his cutting power with wind. Same thing with Murai. And he has 2 summonings at his disposal, which are monkeys and toads. So good on him. Obviously, I think he got the monkey from the Sarutobi lineage, but I'm not sure how he got the toad. In the Pain arc, he could take out the Naraka path with the Rasengan. Let's just keep in mind that this was the Pain arc. This was in Shippuden. Konohamaru was not 27. He was also able to make Rasengan at the age of 12, the same age as Naruto when he made it, so that should give you a decent knowledge of how much potential he really has. Sure, I don't think he's Naruto Shippuden level in Boruto, but it's still something that he could create the Rasengan at the same age. He mastered 2 nature transformations before becoming a Chunin like Sasuke. Those, I believe, being wind and I think fire, but I'm not completely sure. And in Boruto, he's an Academy Jonin teacher and proctor. So obviously, he's entrusted to teach the youth and keep, people, like for say at the level of like Gaara and Neji and Sasuke and Naruto at their Chunin exams arc. He's trusted to keep people like those from killing themselves. Now next we got R.I.P. to my boy Asuma, who died at the young age of 31 to Hidan of the Akatsuki. Now he's a very high Jonin. He's very respected, and he I guess was respected. He's kind of dead now. But he was a very highly respected Jonin in Konoha, being a high-level Jonin in my opinion. He is a very skilled wind and fire user, can increase the cutting power of his blades with the wind, with wind chakra, knows 1 clan technique, can make a fire tornado, kind of like with Mirai, and can summon a spiritual 1000 Kanon Buddha, and can shoot high-velocity streams of wind. Now, the thing with the Buddha, it's not what you think Hashirama looks like. It's a little bit taller than him, and it kind of appears behind him. I'm not sure if this is a clan thing or if this is where he was with the Guardian Shinobi 12. I'm not sure what that spiritual Buddha came from, but nonetheless, he can summon it. He cut off Hidan's head with, I'd say, medium difficulty, with his scythe being a problem. It took a long time for Hidan to even touch Asuma in the first place, which is why I believe Asuma would beat Hidan in a regular one-on-one fight. But she kind of did. He did cut off his head, and the only reason Hidan even won that fight is because he had Kakuzu's help putting on his head. Took out a bunch of Junin to Anbu level shinobi by himself. We all remember what he did in the Konoha Crush arc. I don't think I need to explain what he did. He cut Kisame's cheek, which I think is extremely overlooked. He cut Kisame's cheek, which means he was able to get close enough to Kisame to do so. Sure, he didn't cut off his, he didn't cut his eye, or he didn't fucking cut off a limb of his, but he did manage to cut something of his. He can hold off Ino, Choji, and Shikamaru in the War Arc for a short time while being Edo Tensei. And we all know how skilled, at the very least, Choji was. He was a high-level battle. He has high-level battle IQ. By the way, I want to go back to the other feat. They were holding back because they did feel there was a mental debuff. So I feel like I should mention that. And according to the data book, he was better at taijutsu than both Kakashi and Might Guy. I don't believe the Guy part, but I do believe the Kakashi part. Because, the data book has very, very wacky statements. Like, I don't know, Naruto, when he was not even a genin yet, had the same speed as Hiruzen, the Hokage. So yeah, we're gonna take that with a grain of salt. So he was also part of the Guardian Shinobi 12. We don't know too much about him, but they were assigned to protect the Fire Daimyo, which is a very, very high, how do I say it? It's like the level of the president. The president in the real world. Whereas, the Hokage are kind of like the mayor of, the respective states in the U.S. And obviously, he's a Jonin leader of the Inashikacho. And finally, we all saw this coming. No surprises here. I couldn't really anticipate it. So I couldn't really make it suspenseful, considering, this is Hiruzen we're talking about. He died at the very ripe age of 69. Haha, got him. He's a third Hokage, which means, obviously he had to get the blessing of the next Hokage. He got the Hokage title by offering himself as a sacrifice to the Kinkaku and Ginkaku force when Tobirama was the Hokage. And obviously Tobirama, put his role onto Hiruzen, and that's how Hiruzen became Hokage. And obviously he's been holding that for a very long time, considering in the flashback he looked relatively young, I'd say in his teens or 20s. So he's been holding this title for around 30 to 40 years. He's a very skilled fire, earth, lightning, water, wind, yin and yang release user. Only thing he doesn't have is yin yang release. And obviously the Kekkei. He was equal to Orochimaru with years of prep time while in his 60s. That just speaks to how much he was in his prime. So this means that he is Sannin plus level in an old age. He surpassed Tobirama in his prime, in my opinion. He was not going all out against Orochimaru because he was a former student and he had a mental debuff half the fight. Sure, that did exhaust him, so that's why I think Hiruzen eventually lost the fight due to exhaustion and having having a sword through his back. Obviously, while you're exhausted and you have a sword through your back while trying to pull someone's soul out of their body, that's not going to necessarily go well for you. He obliterates the God Tree with one strike in the War Arc when he was Edo Tensei, and he was it was directly stated that he was the strongest of the 5 Kage. Now, who were the 5 Kage at this time? Well, considering Rasa got assassinated around the same time the Chunin exam started, because that way Orochimaru could impersonate him, he was the Kazekage. Mei, Yagura wasn't around for too long. But Mei, I believe, was the Mizukage at that time. Tsuchikage was Inoki, considering he of his old age, and the Raikage, the 4th Raikage, was the Raikage at the time. So, at that time, if you consider what they've done, he is most likely the strongest of the 5 Kage at the time. Maybe the second after maybe Inoki. But yeah, I also want to point out something here. A feat I didn't mention and I forgot to put in here was what he managed to push Kurama out of Konoha. And he wasn't young. He was not young. That's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like. Leave a comment what you thought. Or, even better, what clan I should cover next. And until next time, I will see you all in the next video. See you guys. Have a good day.